Hi everyone. So today we're still discussing lateral breathing. So I wanted to show you a side position, side lying, how you can adapt that breathing and actually encourage it to be a little bit more dynamic. So if you'd like to lie down on your side, so I'm going to lie on my left. We'll need to do both sides obviously. So you decide how you prefer to lie down. If you imagine you're getting ready for bed, this might be a preferred position for some of you, a fetal position. So with the knees, if you're likely to do this and really tuck yourself really tight, what happens is we tend to overwork the hips. So if you can try and relax, get the knees in line with the hips, minimum. But if you think about that tail tucking under, so we recreate the neutral spine, if you're unsure how to do this, you can look at our sideline setup video. Basically, lean against the wall behind you. That helps you to encourage the neck, the back of the shoulders, and the bum to be in the same line. So we're not creating a gap, so we're not bringing the chest forward and exaggerating extension of the spine. What we'll do is flatten it so it's straight. Then the tail is slightly tucked, and that protects your lower back. Okay, so now if you look at the knees, they're always in line with each other. And what we want to do is grab the top hip and gently push it away. So what it might give you is a small gap underneath you, but don't worry if it doesn't. So that's your setup more or less, and we're now going to encourage the breath to the right side of the rib cage. So your inhale is through the nose, out the mouth. So if I take my hands up and encourage the breath into my fingertips as I inhale, working on the right side of the rib cage, exhale, navel to spine engage. So I'm not moving the spine as I'm moving the breath. I'm going for the lateral breath, even thoracic towards the mirror, to the back of the ribs. So of course it's on both sides of the rib cage we're expanding, but as you can see, this position will help that right side expand. If you want to rest your hands, you can always do this, touch the hips, but don't send the elbows back, okay? Working on that alignment, keeping your shoulders back is most important. We don't impinge any ligaments or tendons, okay? So when you're ready, come back, rest the hand. Now on the other side, I want to show you different props you can do. Okay, if I start with the front roller here, same thing, I'm just going to turn my body across. If instead of holding the hands down here, if you wanted to work harder, so you're working on strengthening your obliques, and then lateral breath on the other side, you can do this. You can expand, keep the shoulders back, inhale to the left side, exhale navel to spine so we don't collapse into the shoulder. This is multitasking, working your shoulder strength on one side, working lateral breath deeper on the other. The opposite thing to do, Mermaid, if you've not done this before, you don't have to. If your knees can widen, working on the hip across, pushing down. On the inhale, we push away, keep creating the long line on the opposite side. Exhale, we take the arm overhead. So when neck is concerned, it's always in the center. Chin slightly tucked. As you exhale, you pull back. So we'll take a few breaths. In to push, out to extend, overhead, take a breath to hold, and out to return. Of course, you can just hold this if you prefer. So you can just rest here, rest the arm above, keeping the shoulders back and down, and just encouraging the breath over to the left. Now, same goes. If you change your mind about the prop underneath you, you can just stay down and use the top arm to reach, exaggerate it, bringing knees together if you wanted here, neutral spine is set, keep encouraging the lift of the arm, and we're pushing the air to the top on the back and the belly, and then out the mouth. Okay, last but not least, we've got a Swiss ball. So all you have to do on this one is just hold it, relax your shoulder. So I've got mermaid position with the hips pushing down. If you want, just close the knees. You can even have the legs straight. So you can stay here, lean to the side, reach over, and so working the hamstrings and pushing the legs to full extension and not locking the knees. So the aim is really to encourage, if I bend the knees to show you, the top hip pushing down will give you a long line. If you wanted to go a bit further with that, reach across and take the spine further down. Full lateral stretch at the same time as expanding on the breath. Okay, so that's lots of options. Don't be confused. I always say start with no props, get to know your body, and then you can add on to that if you wish. So just fetal position to start, expanding the lateral breath, which you've already learned from the first few videos seated, and now we're moving on to that. All right, well done.